Merhaba and welcome back to the Ottoman campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. So this time we're not facing the Americans at Jutland, we're facing them right off the east coast. Again, they didn't bring any battleships, just a whole lot of cruisers and destroyers. Winston Churchill even. So A-class, okay, that's the same one from the previous battle. They're pretty good. Well, the armor isn't that great, but for an AI design, I like the layout of it. If they have any of these left after the war, I'm gonna try and take them. So on our side, no battleships either, but we got 4 battlecruisers. Only 3 destroyers and 1 torpedo boat though, so not as many torpedoes as in the previous encounter. We're gonna try and... no, actually, I take that back. We got torpedoes on the heavy cruisers. Let's go. Now the question is, how much ammunition do I have? A decent amount, it seems. We're not too short on ammo. Let's see, I guess the cruisers can just follow the battlecruisers for now. Torpedoes off. Don't want those precious torpedoes wasted until before I need them. Something I keep forgetting about the heavy cruisers because, well, not all of my heavy cruisers have torpedoes. Very few of them do, actually. This is the only class I gave torpedoes. Okay, you're not capable of following, it seems, so you're just gonna sail parallel. Okay, we spotted the enemy. They are... how far away? Quite far away. And of course, there is a storm, making things a bit more difficult. Cruiser speed limited to 28 knots. Same with the battlecruisers because of the sea state. I'd like my cruisers to be like on the outside of the battlecruisers. Because this time, like the last time, the enemy doesn't have any battleships. So it's not as if my cruisers are gonna get deleted by some 19-inch super heavy shells or anything. You should be able to close to within torpedo range of the enemy fleet without getting shot to pieces. In this case, they might actually be better at it than the destroyers. Because they should be able to survive 10-inch guns of the enemy heavy cruisers at that range. Alright, let's have the guns fire at some, not all the same target, right? There. And I think they're now firing at different targets. I cannot see because that little red line is not visible through the fog unless I zoom in. One lonely torpedo boat on this flank. There we go, finally some shots landing. That is one big cluster of enemy ships. And I seem to be within torpedo range. Almost. The ones in the back, not quite yet. I just hope my destroyer smoke screen is not going to be blocking my own line of sight. There. I should be in range. 21.4, yeah. There we go. Torps are leaving the tubes. Cruisers. Only launched. Good. At least the enemy accuracy is also impeded by the weather, so they're not doing too much damage to my ships. Zagano's not quite torpedo range yet. Guns are starting to do big numbers. Kisara, you are in range. Yeah, we're gonna select some torpedo targets for these heavy cruisers. Not necessarily the same as their gun targets. While these ships themselves can survive taking hits at this range, they might end up with their torpedoes getting knocked out. So better to have the torps leave the tubes while they're still intact. I just hope the enemy is not launching torpedoes at me. There's no way I could see those torpedoes. Can't even see my own torpedoes. And my torpedoes are hitting. Amanda, first victim. Took 4 torpedo hits actually. Yeah, no, I think we're good. Maybe like so. That could work. Yes. That might be the thumbnail. Destroyers, do not leave me. You can hang around here. Torpedo bow as well. I quite like these cruisers. Just because they look so different from anything else. The enemy destroyers have fallen behind the rest of the enemy fleet, but they are also slower. So that's not too surprising, really. So we scored 18 torpedo hits from that first volley. Hopefully the launchers on my cruisers survive long enough to reload. And that's the end of Portsmouth. Destroyers should be rearmed in, like, what's that, 10 in-game minutes? That's not too bad. Torpedo boat is ready again. So let's bring it back. Do another run. Okay, we got 3 battlecruisers now targeting 1 destroyer. That is very wasteful. We're gonna rectify that. You know, the secondary's ready to gun down this one. If we get close enough. And the torpedo boat is in range. Win. Now you can leave. You're done. Destroyers are rearmed in 5 minutes. Same with the cruisers. And this destroyer is being engaged by secondaries and some main guns, I guess, but it's gonna be there you go. Sunk. I just hope that the torpedoes I launched from that torpedo boat are not going to continue on and hit my main line, but I think that's safe. Okay, you are being engaged. I think I need to maneuver these destroyers so that when they retreat after the launch, the enemy follows them towards my main line and not away like with that torpedo boat. There you go, torpedoes are hitting. We got 2 more hits, 3 more. Up to 21 now. Is that gonna be all, or are we gonna get anything else? I'm from 12 torpedoes, that's not too bad. Almost ready, almost ready. We're ready. Salem. You get a torpedo. Or a spread of torpedoes. Churchill gets a torpedo. And who else? Blakely is just out of range. Dashiell. You get torpedoes. And once we have launched, which we have now, I'm gonna put my guns to use. I know I can outgun these corvettes. Just in the meantime, I just need to make sure my battlecruisers are not wasting their ammunition on these tiny targets. We're gonna get something more worthwhile. How about the heavy cruisers? They got their torpedoes back. Are they in range still? No. Let's force AP. Or is that just gonna ricochet? No, we're penetrating. And they're hiding, I can't see them. My main line got too far away. And they're the ones doing the spotting. There we go, torpedoes are hitting the cruisers. Enemy destroyers are now launching torpedoes. That's fine. We can avoid. Let's focus the ones that still have torpedoes armed, which is Radford in this case. Just launched. I didn't really imagine they would be able to go completely invisible in their smoke screen, but I guess with the weather, combined with my like high view range ships being so far away now, my guns off target. There we go. The trouble now is the light cruisers haven't gotten too close. Can we turn hard enough? Almost. And it looked like it was gonna work. But I guess it drifted. Come on, can you turn those guns around? Thomas E. Fraser is very close to sinking. It's like every other hit is destroying my torpedo launchers, but I spent all my torps anyway, so that doesn't really matter. But I guess it does matter when, you know, keeps taking out crew. Yeah. So that's a vulnerability. It's almost as if a whole new group of light cruisers have spawned here, but I guess they were always there. Just not really visible with the weather and the smoke screens. Let's bring the cruisers in closer. That cost me 2 destroyers, but at least they got to play with their guns a little bit. Yeah, it was mainly the 6-inch guns from the enemy light cruisers that actually took that torpedo. Yeah, the 4-inch guns from the enemy DDs didn't do that much. The occasional torpedo and all the 6-inch fire from the cruisers is what did it. Well, we're up to 32 torpedo hits in total. Let's see if we can make that 40 with the remaining torps from my heavy cruisers. Zaganos is almost back in range with her torpedoes. Now, when I click pause, You look like a juicy torpedo target. And you. And you. And you. Right. So here comes another 40 torpedoes. Yep, all have launched. Good. But we got some incomings as well. Newark. Actually launching a Superior race, but it missed. This one might hit though. Not much I can do to dodge at this stage, but it looks like it's gonna miss as well. I think we're good. Just a little maneuver, taking us out of their torpedo range again. 13.5. 20, okay, yeah, okay. I see. Some of them do have longer torpedo ranges. I thought they were all at like 13-ish. Are these actually different classes, or is it a refit? Because they look almost identical, except for the torpedo ranges. But that is noted. Can focus there now. More torps. Yeah, them having 20-kilometer torpedoes kind of changes things. But it doesn't change the fact that at least these two cruisers are going to sink. I'm gonna force AP on my heavies. Just because they're targeting light cruisers now, and I want to save what little HE they have left for the destroyers. reduce the armor on these anyway. That's decent. Okay, so the ones with 13-kilometer torpedoes have a different citadel as well. 279 million for those. 249, so it's cheaper. Yeah, they made it slower. Okay, yeah, this is a refit. Because that's what the AI does whenever they refit a ship for some reason. They're just, oh, speed? We don't need that. Cleveland just took a big hit from a battleship, battle cruiser. Let's finish off Churchill. Or just miss it completely. You can probably fire AP. Again, save some of that HE. Coney goes down. Maybe the Facebook campaign finally got him. Cruiser guns are not really hitting Cleveland. Blakely. Is that finally the bit of flooding we needed for Churchill? Maybe. Maybe it is. That's their last heavy cruiser. There goes Cleveland. There goes Churchill. Battle cruisers can now focus what I think is the last light cruiser. Patterson. And then it's just destroyers left. It might come down to the secondary guns again. Patterson just launched torpedoes at something. Probably my cruisers. Patterson is sunk. Battlecruisers ceasefire. In fact, heavy cruisers, just use your secondaries for now. Save some of that precious main gun ammo. So you never know, might need it next month. The 5-inch guns are not too effective at this range. There we go. That's doing a bit more. Yeah, these have some hefty secondary batteries. Goff surrendered. Ramage. And then just the Hudson left. And all her torpedoes destroyed. And there we go. And that was the last one. Yeah. I'm sure they have some battleships somewhere. But by now, they shouldn't have much much of a screening force left. After this one and the previous battle. Because that was a lot of cruisers and destroyers sunk. Let's see, what do they have? Well, they still have a lot of cruisers and destroyers, and 3 battleships. But that's a lot less than they used to have. Soviet Union, actually. Having built quite a decent navy. So I guess they are a potential future enemy. Right. Of course, I'm right outside of my naval invasion, which centered here for some reason. Fine. Let's see. My battleships are finished. So they're going to be commissioned next turn. That's good, because I need some more battleships now that the ones I have are all out of ammunition. The Americans are leaving Jutland. And meanwhile, I guess my battleships can resupply in the Baltic Sea. Let's see what we can invade. That's close enough to a home port. Peru, I guess, is a an invasion target. That is possible. Maine also in time, but for now, let's just do Peru. And then the convoy battles. Heavy on light cruiser. Or 2 light versus 1 light. Let's do heavy on light cruiser first. Kakardagi versus an O class. That should be a simple one. Hopefully. Yeah, very short range torpedoes. Small ones too. Transports. No torpedoes. Good. Let's see, what kind of armor did you have? Decent. I guess the 5-inch guns can just break the transports once we get in range. Just get them out quickly. One down. Okay. Guess I needed my secondaries for this cruiser now. There we go. Pillau surrendered. We can knock out some of those torpedo launchers. Might get them to just surrender from crew loss. Alternatively, my 10-inch guns seem to actually be doing a very good job of punching through their armor. I think they're just gonna sink. Yep, flooding. Right. Now, this cruiser has done a lot of these missions. That's a decent chunk of victory points too from a small convoy mission. That's mostly because of the cost of that cruiser. Germany is actively taking back southern Germany from France. Looks like my army might take Latvia. At least we have the numbers for it. Doesn't mean it will be successful, but potentially it could be. One cruiser is taking some minor repairs. That's fine. Mostly this task force here is just rearming. They need 3 more destroyers. Do I have that somewhere? I got these. The 2 Des Moines. That's a fresh task force. Fresh enough for me. Let's send them out here. No accidental museum ships joining along, no. Good. And these can, I guess, try and strike Portland? Maybe we can get a naval invasion going against Maine. It only needed like 400,000 tons, which is a decent amount of tonnage. It doesn't look like they're sending any ships here for this invasion. Yeah, they are. Never mind. So, okay, yeah, they are. Big time. They have decided that this is the invasion they want to go for. I guess we'll have to defend it. Hang on, just careful. I don't click too close to the port and have them enter it. There we go. Now I had a light battlecruiser here, 20,000 tons. The invasion of Peru only needed like 9,000, so this one ship should be enough. Right. But that's it for for now. I guess we still have a lot of American ships to sink. Not so many German ships. Their navy is pretty much gone. Yeah, maybe a port strike against Danzig would be a nice thing. We have a couple cruisers here. And this convoy battle we're gonna do next time. Yeah, 2 Veves versus 1 O-class. That should be a win. Oh, unless torpedo things happen. Goodbye and take care.